Hi everyone, this is Menz here. I'm going to start tonight out with the IS-4 Tier 10 Heavy Tank. I'm going to be trying to play quite a few Tier 10s here tonight, but if there are any tanks you'd like me to play, feel free to mention them and I'll do my best to get into them. Now, I'm streaming Friday here since schedule's changing a little bit now that I'm back to work. I'll keep you guys up to date the best I can. However, I think next week I'm going to be streaming Wednesday and Saturday, same time, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. But I'll be updating basically every weekend. I'm gonna update my little chart that I have on Facebook and also my websites, just so you guys can keep up with the stream. Otherwise, though, it uploads as a normal video, so even if you miss it, it's no biggie since you can always catch it later. But in any event, IS-4 here, compared to the IS-7, it's a little bit more durable. Hello, Simon. Nice to see you. A little bit more durable. Its armor head-on is a little worse than the IS-7, but overall it's definitely it's almost a little bit better in every single area in the IS-7 aside from mobility, and of course that pike nose on the IS-7 is pretty formidable if they can't hit your lower glacis. But I've been having a lot more success in the IS-4 than the IS-7 recently, and it changed about maybe like a month and a half ago where IS-4's kind of inched the IS-7 out a little bit as far as doing well. Alright, so somebody can hit that guy. I'm not going to stop because I'd very much like to get out here so we're not all pinned down here. Now, since I'm kind of slow, I'm going to be beaten here by like a bat chat, E5, something. So I'm going to try to angle in and see how it goes there. This location isn't the best for my health, but I think it'll be the best for my team here. Alright, so we got that guy. We'll see if he pops around again. But I'd much rather try to hit a medium over here if I can. Yep. Never mind, he backed off already. I'm just seeing if I can catch that bat chat where he was. Maybe not. Looks like he is sitting there still. I'll try to... Of course I hit him right on the gun and it does no damage. So I'm going to try to pop him, but didn't exactly work out too well there. So, let's see, this IS-4, I gotta kind of be careful that he doesn't... I'm going to let this Conqueror by, hopefully. And again, bounce off another bat chat. Bad luck so far. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Doug. Hopefully I do have a good stream. Hopefully it's not like the last stream. That was pretty painful. But so far, bouncing off of a bat chat twice, and whew, I shot somehow right under that IS-4. So far, not too good. Granted, it's not completely terrible here. My team's still inching out here. It would have been nice to ammo rack that IS-7, but since that's where his ammo rack is. But I'll take a track and no damage here. And let's just see, there we go. He's making a mistake of coming around corners like that. I'll gladly punish him for that. Again, I gotta keep an eye on my rear here. And it's a pretty bad shot there. But looks like we're losing a little bit of ground over here. They're getting that IS-4 pretty well. I'm primarily concerned about this E5 behind me, and also these mediums over there. I just hope I can get another shot on this guy before there we go, he's tracked at least. So, he was a little bit too aggressive there. Hello, Abdul, and hello, SoCal. Nice to see all you guys. If there's any specific tanks you'd like me to play, feel free to mention them. Trying to do a lot of higher tiers tonight, but I'll gladly hop into anything anybody would like me to play. Alright, so I'm not too confident I can get back there before those guys die, which is why I'm just trying to push up here, but we'll see. Yeah, they're going to be fine over there. Hello, Mr. VK. Ooh, somehow I missed that, but not doing too great on the shooting so far. Pretty sure I'm heavier than him. I'm just going to give him a little love tap there. Don't want him to get around me. I just want to stay a little bit angled and just keep my front towards him. He can't really penetrate me. You can get my lower places, but I'm not too concerned about him right now. Be nice if I can... Nope. I was like, be nice if I can just finish him off here, but no luck there. And that artillery definitely took a pretty risky shot there, hitting that guy with me that close, but whatever. Pretty good match so far. I haven't really taken much, if any, damage. It's pretty minor for the amount of times I was shot. Just angling a little bit. It does make your cheek armor a little weaker, but in most cases, unless people are throwing premium rounds at you, or if it's a tier 10 tank destroyer, usually you're fine against people, even angling a bit, since they're still pretty strong with a little bit of angling on them. Not too confident that I can hit the bat chat, so I'm just gonna stay up here, even though since this guy's kind of on his last... Yeah, he's gonna dive off here, and he's dead. But nonetheless, pretty good win to start the night out. There's a few couple hits on that bat chat. I thought it was gonna go south pretty quickly, since 2 no damage shots on a bat chat's pretty bad to start a night out. In any event, Master Badge 3rd class, 3,200 damage, not too bad. SPG just inched me out there. Blocked 3,000 damage and assisted with right about 1,200 there. Hello, Niels Peter. But let's just move along here to another tank here. When do I hop into the mouse? Okay. I feel like 10 seconds once it goes over that. It's a little long just because you're so used to hopping in and getting to one right away. But in any event, Himmelsdorf, not the worst map for the mouse. I'm someone who I don't particularly mind fighting in somewhat open spaces in the mouse. It's city maps like this where if the enemy team has tank destroyers, especially tier 10 ones, which usually you do, since tier 10 tank destroyers are pretty good right now, I find it almost to be a negative being on a city map because you're a lot closer to them and they can really sneak up on you sometimes and get a good side shot on you. Alright, so let's see where my team heads up. I don't particularly want to go over to the 8 line. I want to kind of head over to this side, but at the same time, yeah, we got plenty of people heading over there. Sorry, Conquer. And yeah, nobody whatsoever is heading over to this side, so I guess I picked the right side. And this is probably going to turn out pretty bad. I'm going to pop an APCR in there after my first shot, just because I have a feeling I'm going to end up against one of the T110s here. Maybe not the E3, that's better for me, but almost all of our team heading to the 7-8 line is not really a good thing in my opinion. I just hope we end up winning the hill, or else this is going to be a little bit painful for me, because once the team enemy wins the hill there, I'm going to end up taking quite a bit of damage from there. Hello, Mr. CDC. Are you going to stay there for me? And of course I end up missing, but whatever. At least I'm going to scoot by here. AMX 50B is being pretty aggressive there against a Waffle Traeger E100. It's like I have no clue why he is pushing out like that. Like, AMX-50B is 100% dead. Like, why would you push out there? We're already down tanks on this side, and you just decide to push out there into all the enemies? Alright. Let's say maybe not. Not so much M103. God damn it. Who the hell is hitting me from over there? Which I probably don't need APCR here, but I'm just trying to get a nice hit on that M103, hopefully to free up that side. Not that our team's doing bad, I just want to definitely make sure let's angle a little bit more here. And he's gone. Alright, so I'm going to focus ahead of me now, which is probably just that Waffle Traeger back there, which he can still kill me in one clip unless he gets a little bit unlucky. So I gotta be a little bit careful still, but it's gonna be a pretty easy win, it looks like, for our team here. Why do I see if I can scoot out a little bit more damage here? Which, surprisingly, they're starting to pull even here. Our team's getting a little bit too aggressive here, but maybe I should have stuck with the APCR, honestly. I should have kept pushing too, but I'm getting a little bit greedy as far as trying to get damage off here. But in any event, it looks like this IS-3 caught him. Maybe he is loaded. So let's say maybe he's getting lucky and that guy's not loaded. But alright, let's just try another shot here on the T57. A little bit more damage there, I'll take that. IS-3's doing a terrific job though. Who would have known that I'd be doing almost all my damage at this range in a mouse on Himmelsdorf. Alright, I was about to say I have a feeling he's gonna die before I get my next shot. Alright, so not that bad of a match. Pretty nice quick win again. Feel like I picked the right side since even though they wouldn't have pushed anyway, it looks like. At least I got a bit of damage off up on the hill instead of just being in the 8 line and being in the way. But another Mastery Badge 3rd class. Only 2,300 damage. FV definitely did a great job. And not too much else, but sometimes you got to take that in a mouse, or else you're just going to be fighting your tank more than the enemy. But I like going on the train track side on Himmelsdorf a lot. Just because the 8 line, it's really, you're slugging it out, and really, while you do contribute, to me, if there's plenty of your allies there, you're better off going to another place where you can hold a flank or push a flank, be a little bit more useful than just sitting there slugging it out back and forth. Alright, so I'm going to see how many people actually end up going to the valley. I don't want to actually go to the valley, but if we don't put enough people there, I have a feeling I'm going to have to go there. I just don't particularly like going there because you just basically sit there, shoot at people on the hill, get RD'd a couple times because RD usually has a pretty good shot on you from there. But yeah, I'd much rather go to the city, even though I am slow, but I guess I'll take it. Never mind. With those guys. Don't know why the E4 wants it, because he'd be much better off in the town with his turret, but I guess I should have just went over there. But really, the valley, while it isn't exactly the most important part on the map, but I was kind of going over it in the last stream, when I was fighting in the valley off the other side. Really, Lakeville, it has 3 different routes to take to get to the enemy. Town is usually the one that's fought over the most because most amount of routes there, you can flank easily, you can fight pretty well there, and there's a decent amount of cover. Center, pretty much just for spotting and supporting, can't really push it very effectively. And then you have the valley, it's really just its own area, and SPGs can help if they're positioned north or south of it, but otherwise it's pretty much on its own, so you can really do wonders in the valley by pushing it pretty hard. It helps if you have a platoon mate or a couple people helping you, but I almost prefer the valley over trying to focus in the center a lot of times, and even the town at times, because yeah, it's soft ground, but you can still push pretty well if you have a decent force there. It's like the enemy here, like the one guy pushed across, the rest of them just sat there. You're just going to get torn apart if there's defenders here. You're better off than pulling back and focusing elsewhere. However, if you see a couple enemies there and nothing that big, and you have the upper hand, just all push across at once. Enemy already can't hit you, and it makes it a lot harder for the enemy to actually hit you. But in any event, over into town here, so I'm going to have to figure out where exactly I want to set up. I'm probably going to plop in here with this ST1, to be honest. Or actually, the Centurion one looks like he... maybe he's not going to... I was about to say, is he coming up? I feel bad stopping here, but I have a feeling he's... okay, he's not going to push. Until I, of course, move. Yeah, so that was a pretty bad move on my part. And fantastic, I'm getting torn to shreds by him. And I'm gonna end up dying now. I just missed the 268 straight on there. Don't know how that happened. But yeah. Had a little bit of trouble. Yeah, I can play the E100. As far as preferring it over the mouse, honestly, I prefer the mouse over the E100. Not only do you not have to rely on heat as much, since you do kind of need to use APCR, but at the same time, I just think the mouse is a little bit better tank, for the most part, than the E100. Some might disagree with me, but I feel like the mouse can definitely do a little bit more than the E100 overall, but really, it's nitpicking. Like the E100 definitely can do a little bit of damage, more damage than the mouse, but the mouse better durability. Yeah, nice to be able to watch a stream at work, Daniel. Hello, Martin. Nice to see you again in the chat. Alright, so hopping into the E100. But at least we ended up winning there. So far, 3 wins in a row. Alright, so Serene Coast here. Not exactly my favorite map for heavy tanks. I prefer mediums or a tank destroyer on this, but really with the E100, I don't play it to make money, so I almost just fire heat, like most people do, but you still want to carry some HE at times for tanks that you can't penetrate with heat, and also you carry some AP if you come across some light or medium tanks, or tanks with a lot of spaced armor where AP is still more reliable even with the reduced penetration. I'm going to see where my team ends up, but I prefer to end up over on the 7-0 line. But that really just depends on where everybody ends up going, which honestly it looks like we're going to have a ton of people over there. For whatever reason, our mediums are heading over there. So I'm just going to head over to the other side. Yeah, fantastic. I don't want to head over here, but we can't just leave 2 T49s and a waffle tracker E100 to protect it. I don't really play World of Tanks Blitz. I play it here or there, but really not enough to say that I regularly play it. Alright. That's a really iffy shot, but nonetheless, don't think I'm going to be pushing over. Don't think I'm going to be pushing over here, to say the least. Got myself in a little bit of pickle here. I hate this spot back here, but really with this waffle tracker myself, if I push out any further, he's going to have trouble covering me. At least I can kind of set up here and hide my lower glacis, but I don't really have great shots that way. But I don't need heat to hit this bat chat, but I'm just afraid once I unload it that I'm going to run into some tank that I will want heat round for. Like this Object 140. Ooh, I actually thought I was gonna miss him with how bad my aim was there. Right, so he's trying to get around me, and he's gonna succeed. And I'm gonna probably take a little bit more damage than I'd like from him. And also his buddies back here. But, ooh, thank you, artillery. That helps out a lot. But yeah, I knew turning with my back to the bat chats I'd take a little bit more damage than I'd like, but in the end, thought it was worth the gamble. But don't know if it was actually worth it in the end. Matchmaker not being kind to you, Martian. I guess that's why you said that. Oh no. Yeah, doesn't look like we're gonna be doing too well here. I'm about to be swarmed by a bunch of mediums and light tanks here. Ooh, at least I got him, but yeah, this isn't gonna last too long for me. But in any event, really, we had so many people on that right side for not to win that. It definitely, I wasn't too optimistic when I saw that they weren't going to break through. Alright, so let's just move along here. Why don't I hop into... Why don't I punish myself and play the FB215B? At least I got a decent map for this. Not too hilly here. So I'd say I'm probably going to end up, even though it's not in the game, getting Dragon Ridge with the FV with this gun depression. Like I said, if there's any tanks you'd love me to play, feel free to mention them. I'll do my best to either play them, or if I don't have them, I'll try to match them the best I can. Alright, so hopefully I don't run across that waffle tracker. The main problem I guess I have with the FV is basically in most matches you don't have really any cover, especially since most of the times people are going to be seeing you shooting, and people are just going to punch right through your frontal hull armor, set you on fire, which is why I have the fire skills. I almost am tempted to run 2 fire extinguishers on this at times. But really, I like fighting further away from things in this, but for Siegfried Line, especially since I'm not going to rely on my allies to really take the town, I feel like I'm going to have to be the one to kind of push in here and do something. missed him. A little bit late there. Let's see if someone ends up over here. Don't exactly want to sit out too long. Yeah, I can play the KV 220. Yeah, I don't mind playing the Black Prince, but if you'd like me to play it, I will gladly hop into it. Alright, we got an 8 AMX 1390. About to head over here. Maybe not. Yeah, I thought I might be able to help out my buddy here. Ooh, I guess barely missed that T10. Oops, and there's the T10. Glad I used my repair kit to move back a little bit, even if it didn't exactly save me that much. Okay, thanks a lot, BK. It's like I wasn't gonna round that corner like that, but you can gladly do that. Thank you, M46. I don't know what this guy's trying to do here. Gave him a little nudge to frickin' angle his armor a little bit so that Tortoise didn't take him out, but it's like, goddamn, dude, like, you're popping in front of a pretty dangerous tank there. I don't think he realizes that. In any event, I'm gonna swap sides here. We have guys pushing that way. There's types, lots of armor and HP, so I'm gonna come in here around the IS-7. That way he can't exactly win a fight on both sides against us. And, yep. Not too much he can do here. There we go. Let's get him out. We gotta worry about Tortoise and M103. Alright, the Object 140 is heading that way. I'm gonna stick my neck out. We kind of have to worry, of course, about... There we go. They're heading towards our base right now, which is what I'm concerned about. But here we go. Just we can finish these guys off. It won't really matter if they're near our base, in the field, whatever. I just hope I don't get popped by the Conqueror. I was trying to track him, but I actually probably ended up helping him by pushing him that way. Alright, so back to the base, just to be safe. No point in getting capped out if I'm able to do something about it here. I'm gonna help out just swooping in behind them instead of piling into the same spot. I'm hoping the rest of my team ends up somewhere else. And me and this Object 140 should be fine over here. Granted, didn't expect that one other tank. Yeah. Kind of forgot about, what is it, with a waffle tragger. Okay. I was about to say, now I'm in a little bit of trouble. And nobody has actually gone to the base. He's probably going to end up hitting me or reloading in time. Still, doesn't seem like there's much urgency here to get to the cap. Come on, mediums. Somebody. It's like I'm one-shottable. This Type 5 Heavy's going that way, but... It's like, come on, guys. Anybody? Somebody? It's like we're gonna overtake them, but hell, I would rather not tie this. Whew, there we go. I was getting a little bit worried we might tie that, but I guess the T71 ran away. He might have actually pulled it out for them had he sat on the cat, but hell, I'm not complaining that much. I was a little worried there for a second. Like, I was heading towards the field, thinking the rest of them would go to the cat, but everybody went to the field. But in any event, Master Badge Third Class, got a Defender Award, a little under 4,000 damage, I'll take that, 800 block, a little bit of spotting. Let's see, he's there. Alright, so KV 220. Whoops, going the wrong way. I was looking for the crew incomplete and it wasn't there. Which, excuse my O's, that's my push to talk button. Okay, like I don't know if you're watching this hunting, but I'm waiting for you here. Since I am streaming, I will probably end up hopping into the battle if he takes a few more seconds here. Yep. It's like, I don't mind platooning with anybody if they'd like to platoon while I'm streaming. It's just, I like to kind of keep an upbeat tempo. I don't like a lot of downtime, so. But whew, got a platoon of Ojai experimentals over there. Fantastic. Hopefully those guys do not know that my turret's a weak spot, but I highly doubt that they do not know that. This is going to be painful. But basically knowing a platoon of those things, even though they're not all platoon, with the amount of heavy tanks and firepower they have, they're almost guaranteed to push that area. Hello, Tobias. Nice to see you here again. But KV-220, not exactly the best tank to go up against a team with basically the top 5 tanks being a little bit difficult to penetrate. But that's why I carry a bit of APCR, since the gun on this is really the weakest point of it. Alright, Mr. Cruiser, I know you're aiming here, but I would very much like to get out of the center here. And yeah, they pushed exactly where I thought they would. Actually gonna wait and see if that Churchill III ends up pushing, which, god damn it. I was about to say, I got myself stuck here, and fortunately I didn't. But even with APCR, this is a little bit iffy to penetrate these guys, especially since they're just simply pushing right past me. Yeah, they're just, holy crap. Yeah, I would say that they're gonna end up winning here. Like, I don't even know if it's worth it for me to try to push over to fight them at this point. Like, alright, does that solve that problem? But yeah, those things are just ridiculous if you have 3 of them together, and plus a couple other heavy tanks. Like, all they had to do was stick together, which they did very, very well there and just plow right through us. There's pretty much no chance of us coming out on top with that. But in any event, I might as well just go pick on the little tank here. I'm gonna, of course, end up dying here anyway. Really doesn't matter which way my turret is. But yeah, not to say we stood no chance coming out from the beginning of this match, but we stood virtually no chance. Doesn't even matter how good anybody is on either team. But those tanks, if you have more than one of them on a team and they play together, you can pretty much just delete a tank with every reload. So that didn't exactly go too well. Okay, so still... Alright, guess he does not want a platoon. But yeah, I can hop into the T34 Tobias. I'll try to hop into another game in KV220. Since that one... I don't know. Just... That was terrible. Even if I had went with my team over where we got stomped, it just wouldn't have mattered. Like I get the OI by itself, because the KV2 is pretty similar to it aside from worse armor and a few other stats, but the OI and OI Experimental are definitely tanks where they're not overpowered on paper. They do have drawbacks, but when it comes to actually playing, if you play them with one or two other, they're completely broken right now. That's, I thought Wargaming would have actually known, because there's a reason why they've rebalanced the KV in the first place, when it used to just be the KV instead of the KV1, KV2. You would have thought that they would have learned their lesson, but I guess not. But in any event, T34 here, tier 10 match. I'm going to try to do my best to help out over here. I'm probably going to end up in this little spot here so I can hold down and see how that goes. But I haven't exactly liked playing the KV220 much. Like, I get that it's a fantastic tank as far as armor goes, but at this point everyone knows it has a pretty shitty gun, and its turret's a pretty easy weak spot to hit. And I just find that I thought I might have got lucky there, but nope. I just find it's kind of a gimmick tank. Either you're going to do well against someone who doesn't know your weak spots, or you're going to do completely terrible against somebody who actually has spent a couple seconds to look up KV220 weak spots. Alright, so we actually got a lot of mediums where I want to go, but I'm still going to stick with my plan. I'm not going to alter it too much just because there's a couple people where I want to head. I just wouldn't really be much of any use if I go somewhere else. I was just waiting a second to see if that AMX was going to continue to push over. Holy crap. That mouse, hey, what is he doing? Okay. I have no idea what that guy's doing. Which, no, I'm just going to miss it. And these guys aren't even paying attention. There's a frickin' E4 sitting right out in the middle. Like, yeah, I just took a hit by him, but it's like E50, you could have easily frickin' shot that guy. Alright, so let's see. Can I bait one of these guys into shooting maybe? Here we go. I have a feeling that might be worth it. It depends if I take another hit here. I think I should be fine, but yeah. So I'm going to load an APCR, even though it makes my reload a little bit longer, just for this E75. Not too confident I'm going to get a good shot on him, or the E4 potentially. And of course I bounced. AP actually might have been better there, since it looked like it hit a very angled section. Alrighty then. And I missed. Probably should have aimed a little bit better there, but I was trying to rush it just because we're starting to get pushed on, and very much like not to. And yeah, that was another bad shot there. Oh god, I'm rushing things, and I'm not in a Russian tank, so it's not exactly working out very well. Okay, Mr. E4, he went over that way. This is good for me. Seeing if I can get one of these guys to hit me. C75 looks like he's going to end up... I'd say if he can crest the hill for me, that would be great. It would be nice if I could penetrate his frickin' commander's hatch too, but no luck there. Got a mouse coming in from... Okay, I thought he was going to end up ramming somebody, but it did not work out our way. Let's see this... Yeah, no, don't do it. So I guess I don't need APCR anymore. It's pretty much the tanks left. I'm either going to penetrate them or not. But at least we're going to come out with a win. Definitely would have liked if I got a little bit more damage off. I definitely screwed up a few of my shots there. Oh well. I got myself into a little bit of a pickle here now. Either I... Yeah. I'm just going to head down here. And hope I don't destroy myself too... never mind, I'm just going to get myself stuck. Yay! I don't stream with Quickie Baby Echo. I mainly just stream by myself here. 2 times a week at least here on YouTube. Might pop in other days, but right now, next week it looks like I'm going to be streaming Wednesdays and Saturday. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But otherwise, I mainly stream solo. I might platoon with a couple people if they would like to in chat, but I don't platoon all too often since, like I said, I feel like platooning at times for streams definitely creates a lot of times where nothing's really going on. And since I only stream for 2 hours now instead of 3, now that I'm back to 60-hour work weeks, which I'm very pleased of. I like to get in as much games as possible for everybody. But yeah, I'm not graced with anybody's presence like Quickie Baby. Alright, so not too shabby there. Master Bachelor class. Definitely could have did a lot better. Only 830 damage. But really, I'll take that for just getting a win there. I find the more I play, yep, no problem. I'm open to answering any questions, and really there's just a 40-second delay on the stream, so it takes me a second to read chat at times if I'm in a battle, but yeah, I'm hoping, I have quite a few videos releasing in between streams. I still have quite a few World of Tanks ones. I'm trying to get World of Warships up again since the amount of destroyers and the way the balancing has gone in World of Warships, it's definitely turned me off from the game a little bit. I still plan on making guides for it over on my website, menzgaming.com, but really it's been frustrating playing World of Warships, or the lack of playing it with the amount of destroyers in matches now. Alright, so you get to see how this match goes here on Lakeville. Alright. So it looks like they got a Jagger Tiger heading to the valley. And that's pretty much it. So, I'm actually going to still head to the town just because it's encounter mode. If it was standard battle, I might stick at the valley, but yeah, with encounter, I'm going to head over here. Hello, GG. Nice to see you here. Which, a little over an hour left in the stream, so if there's any specific tanks you'd like me to play, I'll gladly hop into them. Yeah, I can platoon with you. Alright. missed my chance for that guy unless he decides to push out more. Oops. Thought I was a little bit more over to the right. You're alright, Waffle Trogger. I'll move around you. Definitely dodged a shot there. So I'd like to push further down this way, but we'll see how it goes. Our M41's not exactly spotting where we need him to spot. It looks like somebody's right over here, or potentially there's a guy in a couple bushes there, but I have a feeling there's that Walker Bulldog over in the center. We're definitely kind of lagging behind here, and the enemy's definitely taking a little bit too much real estate for my liking. Whew. That guy got hit pretty hard. Alright, I was just waiting for him to pop back enough to where I can just round the corner, take a shot at him, and pull back real quick. Alright, thank you, T92. I'm doing alright. Starting back work. Of course, I get a little bit sick the week I start back at work. But otherwise, all's doing good. How are you doing, GG? Alright, that guy I do not believe is gonna pop out to anywhere I'd want to shoot at him. But I really don't want to fight off of this side. Centaurians. He's slipping by, says the T49. Whew, at least I hit the T49. But yeah, we're definitely gonna want to kill those guys. It looks like our team might be able to catch them there. At least I've got, I thought I might have had a decent shot at the T54E1, but no luck there. Whew, 2 fires. That's nice. Yeah, spring break's always nice if you're still in school. Spring break for me is unfortunately busier for me. So, C100's going gung-ho here, so I'm trying to help him out, but I'm still not going to be 100% committed here. Because once that T57 loads, one of us is going to die, and really if I'm out there or he's out there, it's not going to... God damn it. That was a poor shot by me. Yeah, same here. If only I knew back in high school what I did now, I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. God damn it. Here we go. Not the tank I wanted to hit, but I'll still take it. Ooh, shit. M103's coming around. What are you doing? I know what you're doing, E75, but I would have had a shot on him. But still important for him to survive. Just used auto aim a little bit there to help me with getting my gun over. Yeah, I can hop into the prototype Abdul. I'm going to be platoon with GG. I think he has a tank that's... I honestly forget your tiers, GG, but I assume you can hop into a tank that can play with a prototype. There we go. Nice little 1-2 punch there. Still have no clue where the object is. Since he has 2 kills, I have a feeling he's in the center here. I'm just a little bit hesitant. I'm gonna wait for the Jagged Tiger. Ah, wait, never mind. He's over this side. It's a little bit of a surprise, honestly. Alright, so I'm gonna see where he ends up coming out over here. I have a feeling he's gonna be right over. Never mind, the bulldogs. Bulldog might get me. There we go. Just want to, of course, play it safe. I didn't want him to get too close. I'd rather take my shot and get destroyed by a T92. Fantastic. But can't complain too much with the match I had. I'm just surprised the T92 whacked me there, but I wasn't expecting him to be an A7, so. Okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed dinner, GG. Alright guys, this is Object 704. There we go. It's a Mastery Badge First Class, High Caliber Award, 5,200 damage, not too bad, and assist it with a little bit as well. Got spamming my chat there, GG. Alright, so Orlando. Alright, so let's see. Asking for the T28 Prototype. Abdul, I'll hop into that only because, yeah, Orlando is still in battle there. Alright, so I'll hop in here. Yeah, it's definitely a good time for the sales to push up that line too. Helps me out a little bit since my next tank is the T49 I want to buy. Alright, so my least favorite map in World of Tanks. I have not gotten this in a while, actually. At least it's a tier 8 match, but I still don't particularly like this map at all. I'm probably going to end up on this side. Halfly because I spawned on this side, but otherwise I don't particularly like fighting over in the 8 to 10 or 8 to 0 line in a tank destroyer like this. But yeah, Tundra, I guess feel like Tundra would be a lot better if they basically just stretch the map out a little bit and basically widen the river areas. I just feel like it's too smashed together to really work out well. It's just basically a bunch of freaking hills everywhere, and I don't know. I just don't like the map at all. And you're from Madagascar? That's a pretty interesting place if you're actually from there. So not very good at that CDC's there, and we have a Borsig heading towards him, but yeah, I'm very tempted to pull off of here, but just seeing their IS-3 and WZ-111s, I have a feeling that Yeah, I'm still going to want to head over this way, but I'm going to alter my plan a little bit. Never mind. I'm not going to alter my plan. Maybe I should have just stayed with it. I just had a feeling they were going to push here, but kind of unfortunate our team pushed that far. Yeah, I can hop into a Super Pershing Tobias. Now, it doesn't help me that artillery is aiming over here already. Hopefully they don't... Oh god, that looks... I think that Tiger II just shot our own teammate, it looked like. It'd be very nice to get the M6 out, but... Whew. Yeah, you guys got smacked again by artillery. Yeah, that's a nice shot, IS-3. Really wish you weren't the one shooting and it was WZ-111. Alright, so artillery's about loaded. I'm gonna get wrecked here. Need to try to get behind as much cover as possible, but yeah, so I'd say heat rounds aren't gonna... Yep, and I'm dead. Yay. I knew that was coming. I shouldn't have went there, but really, what can I do? If I stayed back any further, we would have just died. Had I pushed, would have died. Yeah, it's just one of those matches where no real good chance for me there. Hello, Pierre. Yep, see you, GG. Didn't I send you a platoon invite, Orlando? Thought I did. Alright, so Super Pershing. If I remember correctly, I believe you have preferential tier 8. I barely can remember my own tanks. Yep, that works out. Which, just about an hour left, so if there's any specific tanks anybody wants me to play, feel free to mention them. Or if you have any questions about World of Tanks or World of Warships. Hoping that after the weekend here, I'll be able to start doing a couple more guides. I'd like to finish, honestly, map strategies for World of Tanks. I updated a decent chunk of them a couple weeks ago, but got tied up with my actual job, so haven't been able to finish them. But it's killing me not being able to get stuff done. It's really getting pulled in like 7 different directions. So honestly, I'm gonna head to a town side. I just find, I don't know, I never do good up here. It's either I run into too many enemies and get my face smashed in, or I'm just kind of following behind my team as they push through. Grant, a little bit of a little bit concerned about our team pushing that hard through the center. Usually when that happens, when a ton of your lights and basically weaker tanks do that, they all end up dying really early on. You might not see a lot of enemies there, but right now the enemies are swooping in and they're just going to plow right into you and take you out. Doesn't always end up that way, but a lot of the times you end up getting yourself into quite a bit of trouble doing that. Yeah, I can do the... crap. I don't even know why I shot there. Yeah, I can do the T110 E5 after this. I want to play that at some point tonight. Alright, so for my sanity, swapping over to APCR here. It'd be nice if this guy could come over here, but whew, our middle actually did that. About being a chef, it has its plus and minuses. Like, I'm in a little bit of a unique situation where I've been in it my whole life. My family owns a restaurant. It's where I work. It's like my brother's the head chef. He works dinner. I work breakfast, lunch, and I used to work dinner, but I moved over to breakfast, lunch, and I manage that. But really, it is stressful. It's a lot of hours and not exactly a lot of reward from it, but can't say I don't mind. I get paid a decent amount of money. Where I live at, I know I'm open at SWZ, but where I live at, really, if you're not in like the hospitality business, you don't really get paid much, if anything, and I make a pretty good living for what I do, and the hours do suck, 60 hours a week, like I said, but really it's shoved into 9 months of the year, so it's not all that bad. Like it's fun, but it's mainly just it's a lot of work. But usually I can't say I can complain that I have a bad job. Where are you gonna shoot me? Thank you for not knowing my weak spot. And he ended up missing me again, thankfully. But yeah, basically, being a chef's nice because it's fun cooking. You please, like I cook for about 2, 3, sometimes 400 people a day. Just me and usually one other cook for breakfast / lunch, and it's nice being able to affect that many people's days, good or bad. Usually good. But I don't know. It's a rewarding profession where if you can put up with the heat and the amount of work you have to do, there's some positives in it, and I get to eat whatever I want, so you can complain with that. But yeah, I can play the Churchill III for you, Abdul. Thank you for requesting the tank, because otherwise I'll just randomly pick. So I'll play the E5 and then hop into the Churchill III. So I cheated a little bit by using a lot of APCR here, but really I saw the opportunities I had and just took them. APCR let me do a lot of damage to tanks. Otherwise, I wouldn't really be comfortable facing off against. I should have just basically sat where I was. But really, that's what I like about the Super Pershing. Good armor. Its AP round is good against most things, but APCR round is completely hilarious at times. But it's one of my more favorite Tier 8 premiums. Alright, so decent match here. Master Bad second class. A little under 1800 damage, 4 kills. Most amount of experience, blocked a little bit. Not too shabby. Alright, so T110E5 here. I'm completely... Whenever there's a crew incomplete on things, I tend to just kind of glance over them because oftentimes they're premium tanks. Yeah, I know APCR is kind of neat in the Super Pershing, but I still feel like it's cheating sometime. That's kind of rare. A 263 platoon, you don't see too many of them around, but not a bad tank. It's just... It's definitely vulnerable to artillery, but you don't see too many of them. Normally, as far as Like if I cook something to take home for dinner. It depends. Like sometimes I do. Oftentimes I guess if there's any mistakes or anything, I don't give them. Usually, if there's any mistakes in the kitchen, like most people have probably seen in movies or heard, like usually it just gets shared to the help. Um, Usually it gets put towards the help, but oftentimes that's usually what I end up eating. But I typically, because I go to work 5 a.m., get out at 3 p.m., I usually cook myself a little bit of breakfast and typically don't really take anything home aside from mistakes. Usually breakfast is my one like big meal of the day, then I don't eat until late at night. Alright. And yay, I completely fudged that up. This is not going to turn out too well. Yeah, I knew that frickin' artillery was coming for me. Now I'm going to get hit here. Yeah, I don't mind playing this tank. I like it too. Unfortunately, I was trying to get this center spot for my team, and the enemy just... they frickin' beat me to it. The whole frickin' team, it looks like. And our team is gonna... this is gonna be tough for us to get this one here. They just have a frickin' gigantic advantage over us right now. Thanks a lot, IS4. Please don't block me. I'm just gonna salvage as much of this as I can, but I'm not all too confident in coming out here with a win, of course, but at least I'll get a little bit more damage off, I hope. Ooh, crap. Like, I didn't even see the FV. I thought that PZ4 had hit me, honestly. Yeah, that's what my plan was, Pierre, to load heat for him, but at this point I couldn't sit out there and basically take the beating, so I'm just trying my best with AP here. Probably gonna end up getting popped here in the back, but at least this IS-3 keeps missing my weak spot. Yeah, Tobias, I don't use a webcam, so I'm probably curious what I'd look like. I'm white. It's not really too personal, I don't mind. But just Googling my name, since I use my name for most things, I don't hide behind like a different username. I'm the only Cody Menz out there, so if you Google my name, there's no doubt like a picture or something of me out there. I'm actually thinking of, hopefully down the line I'll end up getting a webcam. I was kind of joking the other day that I should probably just get a webcam and focus it on my dog that's pretty much at my side whenever I stream. For whatever reason, he likes to relax here, only because he's pretty funny to look at, but really, right now my home office here, since I pretty much have a room dedicated to doing stuff on the computer here, is a little bit... It's the only room we haven't renovated yet, since I just bought a new house mid last year, and it's not exactly something I'd rather show off until I get fixed up. Yeah, so hop into the Churchill III. But a lot of people, from what I've played with, think I'm older than I actually am. I'm basically in my mid-20s, so I sound a little bit more calm and collective than I actually look. Probably, if I'm holding a fish, most likely. Yeah, Yeah, I basically live, I'm surrounded by water on 3 sides. If you go like 5 miles in any direction, there's ocean, so it wouldn't surprise me if that's the picture that came up first. So I'm probably going to end up down in this area. Other countries, I haven't yet. I'd like to go to Europe, honestly, but what I could guess counts as a different country is a few little different spots in the Caribbean, but really, it's not exactly a different country there. My family mainly, growing up, we vacationed to Florida and Hawaii once or twice, but they don't. My family doesn't really like going outside the U.S., so I'm sure I'll make it. Like I said, I'd like to go to Europe, and my girlfriend wants to go to Europe as well. But right now, the house kind of sucking up all the money, as you could imagine. Thanks. Yeah, where I live, basically every year, twice a year, striped bass. It's a pretty huge thing around here as far as fishing and commercial and recreational. I don't particularly like to fish too much anymore, but I definitely did a lot growing up. A lot of the video or pictures you might see of me they're a couple years old, but I pretty much look the same than what I did in high school. Okay, Mr. KV2, you wanna like stop there a little bit? Alright, so missed that first shot on him. But Churchill III, fortunately, freaking great DPM. It's just not a whole lot of penetration. So at times you might struggle a little bit, which is why I carry quite a bit of APCR on this thing. But fortunately for me, he's not able to hit me. I kind of feel bad for people who play the ARL at times because it is such a difficult tank to play. You mainly fight your own tank a lot of times. This guy doesn't really know that his turret's a weak spot. Unfortunately, I missed there. Alright now. I'll gladly knock you out. As far as who I'm supporting in an election, we shall see. I'm definitely not Trump, though, honestly. Even though he's associated kind of where I live in New Jersey, but definitely not Trump. I'm more of a, I guess you would say, Democrat than a Republican, but there's no good candidate this year. And unfortunately, it's really the first election I kind of care about, and yeah, it's a little depressing. So I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. I don't think there's really any candidate that is strong enough to make you feel like, oh, I really need to vote for this person. But we'll see what. Okay, I'm just gonna back off here a little bit until my buddies arrive. I can't exactly see. I know where the OI's weak spots are, but as far as finding them behind a bush, not always the easiest. Okay, he's not even aiming at me, so I'm gonna plink down this VK just to get his support out. And never mind, he's pretty smart there. You kidding me? 17 HP. There we go. And might get lucky here. Or I might not. I'd say it'd be very, very nice to get lucky there. But I'm gonna wait for. I thought this VK might push up. Alright, never mind. I had a shot there, I was just completely oblivious. Yeah, over in Europe, I think what interests me the most, of course, kind of the UK for Bovington, since I do kind of like tanks even outside the game. And other than that, I know Um, primarily Italy and France for the food, since I am a chef. Alright, let's get a little bit more damage, hopefully. Yeah, picking the least crazy out of them is probably what's going to happen to Tobias. To me, I think it's going to be either Clinton or Sanders, even though Clinton's probably going to end up winning the nomination, but really they're probably going to be the ones that is the next president. But in any event, Master Badge First Class here, not too bad, 1500 damage, most amount of experience because Churchill III just prints out experience, has a little modifier on it for more experience. Yep, thanks for joining the stream here, SWAT. As far as my name, really my name just is derived from my actual name. My name's Cody Menz. I use it for my channel and also a lot of different things, but I just shorten it to C Menz. Yes, sounds like Siemens or Seaman, but when I first picked that username, I was trying to keep something close to my name without it just being Cody Menz, and came up with that. I was in high school, so I had some to do with it. So why not hop in a T92 here, since I haven't played artillery yet. I'm just gonna load a couple premium rounds, because otherwise T92s are already difficult to play with premium rounds. Without them, that loss of splash range definitely a little bit annoying. Alright, so I'm probably... Honestly, I have not played this in artillery in the newly updated version of this map, so it's going to be a little iffy. Thanks, Abdul. Nice I could get a decent match in it for you. I love the Churchill III. It's just... been playing a lot of higher tiers, so sometimes I kind of forget I have it, but one of the better tier 5 premiums. Alright, dude, where are you going? You're going left, you're going straight, you're backing up, like, pick a spot. And stop wiggling around. Alright, so most, pretty even split. I'm actually more confident that our southern team is gonna hold up pretty well. Which, honestly, yeah, I'm gonna flip sides. I'm not exactly the best artillery player in the world, so bear with me. But yeah. Yeah, that's nice. I never knew that there was a goalie named that. Let's see if I can get lucky here. Whew, he's probably a little mad. Yeah, I know. That guy's mad, but at the same... I get people complain about artillery. I think it's close to what it should be. Like that guy, he was sitting out in the open as far as artillery cover goes, not moving a lot. Of course he's gonna get smacked. But, hello, Skippy? I guess I'll call you. But, really artillery, I just think they need to decrease the range a little bit. Increase the mobility on some of the higher tiers. And basically just make them get a little bit more, closer to the fight. Alright, let's see what I can do here. Another pretty decent shot there. I thought our south was going to do pretty good, and we're starting to get pushed back here a bit. And of course, our Bat Chat, AMX 1390, they're kind of running away. Be nice if we could get some help here, as this Jagged Panzer E100 is not going to last for too much longer. That's pretty cool, Tobias. Yeah, I played soccer until, I don't know how old I was. I would say 12 or so, but really, I have bad knees, so I didn't exactly keep up with it. Yeah, I didn't recognize your name, Skippy, but thanks for joining the stream. I stream basically every Wednesday, and then the other day It's like today's Friday, next week, I said a little earlier, it's probably going to be Saturday. But every time I stream, you get notified if you're a subscriber here on YouTube. Thanks for subscribing and liking this. Do my best to be entertaining, but sometimes I can be a little mundane in a way. And this guy's going to end up blasting me, but oh well. It's like, not to blame it on anyone, but we're doing pretty bad down here. E100 is still doing good down there, but our guys just ran away. Like, yeah, I get it, they're going to help the north, but still, you ran away and didn't even, like, plug up the middle. But yeah, basically, I think most arty should be kind of based off of the FV304. But yeah, the T92 wasn't always like this. It's like I'm a little bit frustrated playing it now because I did play most of my games in the T92 back when the pre-nerf version. And yeah, I get that they rebalanced the accuracy a couple years ago for all tanks. Call you low, okay, or low? Okay. I guess you don't like Skippy, which I agree with you there. But yeah, T92 used to be a lot more mobile, and granted there weren't as many artillery back then. It was before like the Conqueror was added, but it was really just, as far as its mobility, it was pretty close to the Object 261, and it was mobile enough to keep up with your team. It was slower than M53, M55, but not by much. But when they nerfed the accuracy of basically every SPG and basically put them all in the shitter, they nerfed the T92 as far as its mobility too, and it really freaking killed the tank, and it's a little depressing. They also, of course, decreased the splash radius, and that hurt it as well. But to me, RD definitely is fixable. I think it does more good than bad currently. It's just the way it's balanced is it's essentially balanced to make it annoying to play and annoying to play against. Yep, I have the Tortoise Zephyr. I'll gladly hop into it. Yes, I do have it, Tobias. Basically on most my live streams, sometimes you'll see in the upper right hand corner, it will say support the channel. That uses Google Wallet through fan funding. Otherwise, in all my video descriptions for my newer videos at least, there's a PayPal link for my PayPal as well. And any donations are greatly welcome, of course. Basically, the money goes towards keeping my websites running and also helping me make videos, since it does cost some money getting the equipment. Like if my microphone breaks, which it does at times, and of course web hosting and stuff like that. It helps me keep going with that, since it's not cheap running both on my websites. Alright. I thought he would have not been able to hit me. Okay, Lowell? Lowell? Okay. Tell me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Honestly, I admit I am not the best at pronouncing people's names at times. Mitch knew that that heat was coming towards me. I wonder where the hell did he hit me, honestly. And now he's starting to side scrape, and I don't have APCR, and yeah. It's really just a throwaway shot there. There's not too much I can do against him now. I'm just trying to contemplate where I want to go. I picked a bad spot to go, honestly, and I'm starting to regret my decision going over here. Welcome back, Martin. Ooh, our ST1 does not have a fire extinguisher. How do you have a tier 9 and don't have a fire extinguisher on it? That's just like sacrilege. Alright, got Mr. Ferdinand over here. Whoa, 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 dude. Thanks a lot for pushing me there. I would have had my shot off a few seconds earlier. It's alright. Like, I have donation buttons, of course, and PayPal, but I won't lie. I don't exactly need them to run things and whatnot, since I do run ads on my videos. But it's all appreciated, but definitely wouldn't want anyone donating if you can't afford it, of course. Alright, I like cats too, so that's a decent name for a cat. Yeah, I know that, Martin. I was trying to pronounce Lowell's name here. I don't know if it's pronounced that way or not, like the tanking game. But I'm just using APCR and, again, quote-unquote cheating, but really, while my team's ahead, we're definitely in a pretty bad position here. Me and this. Alright, I'm not confident against that Foch. This T95's getting gangbanged back there. Oh, god damn it. My luck ran out. No. Yeah, I'm not exactly someone who likes the whole running the food thing. Alright, I'm trying to get out of that mouse's shot, but really I'm kind of screwed regardless of where I go. And yeah, oh well. Yeah, I didn't exactly do very good in the end there, but I'm not exactly good at Pilsen at all. But fortunately, I bounced back a little bit. Taking that shot for an E100 in the beginning, I kind of deserved to get damage there, but nonetheless, pretty crappy match. I got a Mastery Badge second class here. 2,300 damage, not too bad. And T92, definitely a little bit lower than you want, but. Hello, Tiger. If you want a platoon, just let me know your username. I'll gladly hop into a battle or two. I'm going to hop into the Tortoise first, since somebody asked for, Zephyr asked for the Tortoise. But I can play a match or two if anybody wants a platoon. I have a little over a half hour left in the stream here, and I'll be streaming till 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. After that, feel free to subscribe and like my videos. I'll be releasing, basically I have videos done for the next week until the next stream. Basically every day I have a video coming out now for World of Tanks. So if you subscribe, it'll keep you up to date with that. Otherwise, I'll be streaming next Wednesday, same time, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then next Saturday as well, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Yeah, that one's not bad, Tobias, over on Southeast Asia, but I believe it is banned over on North American server and European. But yeah, I do know that mod is banned over on other servers, Tobias, so don't exactly know about that. Alright, yeah, I'll send you a platoon invite after this. Alright, so yeah, after this I'm gonna hop into a platoon with Demolisher. Yeah, I can play the Centurion Action X, I can play the E100, and also the Lorraine as well. Depending on how long the matches take, may or not may get any other games in after that, though. But as far as mods, I don't really pay too much attention to them, but I have a feeling that one isn't allowed on our server, but who knows? This is not going well for us so far. Don't know why they're pushing out like they are. It's like I particularly don't want to be up here now that we lost that T-54, but nonetheless, I'm gonna have to do something because now the Lorraine frickin' pushed out there, and we're gonna get our face smashed in. It's like last time I was in the Tortoise, I frickin' pushed out here too, and same result. I'm gonna get frickin' torn apart here. At least I'm getting a little bit of damage in here, but I don't want to exactly follow that guy, but not too much I can do here now. Just trying to get as much damage as I can until I die. Oh God. Doesn't help that I missed, and yeah, it's gonna be my last shot most likely. Someone, anyone. And yeah, didn't get it off. But yeah, I don't exactly like playing the Tortoise on this map, but the last 2 times I've played this, I've gotten this map, of course, and this side, and yeah. Hopefully my team does well, but it doesn't look like it. I really hate going to this side too. I prefer fighting on this side, but yeah. Tortoise is a great tank, but definitely not the best tank at fighting like I got into there. I thought I hit accept. Yeah, I can play a couple battles here. You said you had to 183? Whoops. Sorry, Pierre. I forgot all about the Action X and E100. I'll hop into them after the 183 here. So I'll play the Centurion Action X, then the E100, and then the Lorraine. Had a little brain fart there. I apologize. Alright, so both teams, we both have 183s here. Probably gonna end up over on this side here. I do not have the mutts. Trying to save a little bit of money. I can't buy every premium tank, unfortunately. It's like in World of Warships, even though it hasn't really kicked off yet, I am part of the Club War Gaming. But unfortunately for World of Tanks, as far as a lot of other people who stream, make videos and whatnot, get quite a bit of support from Wargaming. Unfortunately, even though I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years, haven't exactly gotten too much help from them. Yeah, 20 viewers, I'm killing it here. I'm curious if this T57 is gonna push across here. He might. I'm just gonna take a little bit of a gamble and see if I can clip him. Of course I'm spotted though. Not too surprising. I just wonder if anybody else is gonna come around here. Yep, there's that T-57. Not a great hit, but I'll still take it, I guess. 722 is better than nothing. Curious to see what's on the hill before I end up pushing any further across here. Doesn't look like our hill's gonna do too well, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a waiver here. Just wanted to point that way just in case somebody was up there. Yeah, I did in the past. I thought about kind of bugging them again, poking them about it, but really the first time I contacted them. I even know a couple people who work with Wargaming, not in for World of Tanks PC, but other games. No luck so far. There's some kind of curse around me. Alright, let's see what we can do here. I'm not going to have a great shot, but I'll gladly take it. What I did have on that T57 was very thin. Yep, see ya, Lowell. Nice chatting with you. Alright. Let's see if I can get lucky a second time here. Don't really have a good shot on him. And of course I missed. My luck was bound to run out at some point. That was a pretty important shot there I missed, though. Yeah, fortunately, he dinged me. He had an AP round, surprisingly. Boom. Holy crap. I must have hit the end of his gun there. Alright, so I'm going to swap over to AP since at this point Hash hasn't been working out very well. I gladly appreciate any shares or anything anyone can give me. It's like most of this I do just because I love helping people, making videos. But yeah, any help anyone can give me, I'll gladly appreciate it, of course. Ooh, that was a pretty big hit there. Like I said, I've been doing this for quite a few years, and even though I don't get a ton of views, my website gets a decent amount of views. Mainly do it, and I start it just mainly to help out people. Alright, so this is, I was about to say, that's going to be really iffy. But at this point, I'm not expecting to win here. Alright, let's just get him out of the way. Mainly playing for my own survival right now. I can't stop the base, so just kind of holding out hope I can get another shot off here, but probably not. Alright, so they got off the base, surprisingly. Surprisingly enough, they got off, so even though I'm going to get murdered here by an E5, might as well get maybe one more shot off. Maybe. Very big maybe. Never mind, I am not. Maybe I should have just stuck the other way. But hell, he's shooting HE at me, it looked like. But whatever. It's not like I had any chance there against all those tanks anyway. But decent match. Could have been a little bit better, but I definitely, that one shot I missed was pretty big there, but still a long shot. Not that bad overall though. 4,467 damage. Sorry, Demolisher, but many people know 183 is definitely hit or miss. Nice seeing you again, Gaming Kid. It's been a while. Alright, so Centurion Action X. Oh, feel free to share and mention me to people, especially on my website, since I do link a lot of stuff over from my videos over there. But we'll see if I'm actually allowed to put it in my video description. Since I do use Wargaming property, even though I don't, I'm not directly affiliated with them, I do have some certain restrictions as to what I can and cannot post. Granted, a petition shouldn't be a problem, but yeah, pretty much anyone who uses Wargaming's property, and especially in my circumstance, have a couple websites based off of it. Even though I don't directly work with them, I do have a couple little caveats I gotta keep in mind. Alright, so let's hope my ammo rack does not get blown up trying to push through here. And I thought that was gonna happen. No. Yeah. Thought artillery was gonna... God damn it. Yeah, I get that, gaming kid. I'm getting a little bit busier too. Feel free, if you want to mention your channel, Demolisher, you're welcome to do so. Everyone can see it in the chat here. I was thinking that Bulldog would have popped around. Second artillery shot I dodged there. God damn it. Sorry, Bulldog, for pushing you, but I really wanted that shot. So I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going around for this E50. I thought about going this way, honestly, in the beginning, but I kind of talked myself out of it because the past couple times I've used it, it hasn't exactly gone so well. Okay, let's not get stuck here. Okay. Rather shoot the side of his turret than his hull. Okay. Yep, I appreciate it, Tobias. So we're having a little bit of trouble at our base here. I'll take a little bit of a gamble and go this way instead of up there to my right initially. I'm more concerned about these guys running around back here. Okay, so these guys are pulling back. Attention here. Maybe I can pull them off of my E5. It's definitely getting a little bit closer than I thought it was in the beginning, but wasn't keeping a great eye on this side, of course. Yeah, that's a lot of Russian heavy tanks. They have a problem with the fire at times, as evident there in the KV-4. But it's definitely a good tank. Just really focus on angling a bit. That way people can't punch through your engine area as easily. Of course I had to bounce there on that KV-4. Unfortunately he's moving. I thought he was gonna give me that shot. gonna wait for this guy to come around, so hopefully I can hit his front track wheel there. No, we're not. I'm just waiting for these guys to make a mistake. Or at least I'm hoping they're gonna be the ones to make the mistake and it's not gonna be me. Although with that 268, he's taking a little bit of a gamble going there. There he is. Tracked him, didn't do any damage, but he did use his repair kit. Ouch, that hurt a little bit. Hello, hello. Oh, crap, there's that KV-4 still. And also a Jagdpanzer, no. And I'm dead. I don't know why that 268 ran away from me. I think I get there's a PZ-4 there, but had he stayed there, it would have been a lot easier. Gaming Kid, I'm streaming till 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so right about, it says right 13 minutes, but I have the Lorraine I'm going to be playing next, and after that I might have time for one more. Let's hop over to Demolisher and see what he can do here. Yeah, nonetheless, at least we won this. I definitely screwed up a little bit there at the end. I didn't see that 268 leaving me. But, yeah. I probably should have just ran gung-ho into that Jagdpanzer, and I would have survived for at least one more shot than I did. In any event, Mastery Badge 3rd Class, 3,300 damage. Not too much else, but still, a win's a win. But thank you, Demolisher, for platoon in there. Definitely had a couple decent matches there. Alright, so got the Lorraine up next. Otherwise, after the Lorraine, I'll see how much time I have left. Hopefully I can get one more in after this. Bought the AMX 1390 and Lorraine, of course, since they were on sale when I got them. And trying to get myself into autoloaders a little bit more than I have in the past. Yeah, at that point in E100, sitting up there was kind of his best option. Trying to shoot across the map there. This might be a close, or not a close, a quick match, but I'm gonna push down here. They have two 50-120s and T54 to T54E1. We're a little bit light-handed on fast tanks, but I'm gonna try my luck pushing there. There's no artillery, so it is a little bit important to win that spot of the map. But yeah, thanks for platoon Demolisher. At least I got a T49 coming with me. This T10 should, if he's smart, be able to push with us. I wouldn't push up the hill if I was him, but he can kind of stick that way. Oh Lord. Thank you for missing me with that one. No artillery, so I don't have to worry too much about taking fire outside of the Bulldog here. Yeah, I thought I would have got lucky and had a shot on him. Sorry, buddy. And maybe I can get one more hit on him. That'd be fantastic. Now I've got to... Whoop, sorry, T49. I got to reload without letting this guy get a shot on me, of course. No, Pershing, leave me alone. It's one thing I hate about French autoloaders is the very long reload time, but damage potential definitely is pretty big on them. No, 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 no. Alright, now we go. Hopefully nobody's there on the enemy team that can hit me. And there we go. T71 over here. He probably moved. Yeah. Alright, unfortunately now I gotta reload before I can help my team out, but so far so good. Looks like our north's gonna break through there, and we should be pretty well off there. I'm just hesitant to push right now because I still have 23 seconds. I'm probably gonna stick around here and get shots on the T30 and other guys that are further back here. Lorraine's a great tank though, if you can... The way I kind of look at it, even like in the bat chat and stuff, is always try, if you're going to get shot, like you have no armor and people are going to shoot you, but always limit it to just one person at a time. Any more than that and you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Hello, gamer boy. Unfortunately, I probably have one match after this, but thanks for joining the stream nonetheless. Alright, let's go for this guy here. And of course I bounced. Still have plenty of shots, hopefully, except for the T71. That little bugger. I definitely screwed that up, but again, two people shooting at me there, never a good thing. So why don't I hop into another match here, just since I'd like to... I have quite a few things I gotta do before I gotta... Thanks for the platoon invite, GG, but I don't think I'm gonna, unless you're sitting here. Yeah, I got time for one here. At least I did a decent job in Lorraine here. If I could gather, come on, gather information quicker. Mystery badge, third class, 3,400 damage, just about. Not too shabby. So I gotta find a tier 7 now. Just kind of thinking, I got the Comet. Do I want to play the Comet though? Not that I don't like the Comet, it's just, yeah, maybe I'll play the... Yeah, I'll play the Comet. Yep, thanks, Tunster. Yeah, Lorraine, even the AMX 1390, they're great tanks. They're hard to play at times because you do that, have that really long reload and no armor, but nonetheless, they're pretty good tanks, which, whew, we got the short end of the stick here. Hi, GG. But about 6 minutes left here on the stream, so we'll see how long this lasts. We might fit in one more, to be honest here. I think I'm going to be using quite a bit of APCR. But yeah, I got to get up for work at about 4:30 in the morning tomorrow. So that's why I'm not able to stream until 9 anymore. Yeah, I could have picked the T29, but Comet was right in front of me. Nonetheless, if this is my last battle, thanks again for everyone got to chat with, and glad a lot of you recognize the names and even some few new ones. Otherwise, next Wednesday is my next stream. I have videos in between now and then, non-live stream ones that'll be coming out. But Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. or 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Wednesday, and then next Saturday will be my next stream. Still have to Photoshop up the image for it to replace the one on my website and shoot it out on Facebook, but it'll be Wednesday and Saturday next time. Yeah, unfortunately I need a little bit of sleep since I gotta cook for about 200 people when I wake up tomorrow. Crap. And of course he saw me there. There, take that, M103. Yeah, sleeping and cooking is not very fun to do. Or sleeping while being very tired, I'll say. I was just curious to see if anybody else was over there. It doesn't look like it. Looks like our other side's having a little bit of trouble, but alright, I was waiting for him to... I was hopefully waiting for him to push by me, but he didn't push by me far enough, honestly. Whew, I'll gladly take that. I might take a shot here, but just wanted to make sure I was actually aimed in correctly there. But yeah, that was a pretty nice hit on that M103. Yeah, it's like, I'll admit some days I get less than 4 hours of sleep, but typically I need to hover around 6 hour range, but it's not like I'm going to bed right after this. I just have a few things I need to get done before going to work tomorrow. Okay, let's just hide behind here. At least I thought this IS-6 was gonna pop out a little quicker than he is, but nonetheless, I'll still take it. Gotta worry about this VK, of course, but it's not that I think we're gonna end up losing. It's just oh no, I'm in a pretty bad spot here. I thought I was gonna get around for the VK, but nonetheless, I'll still take this though. Win's a win here. Alright, so not that bad for Parker here. 1200 damage. GG did a really good job as well. I did a grand total of 221 damage and assisted with a little bit. Pretty much, Tunster. Anyway, thanks for the platoon guys, and yeah, again, thanks for everyone for watching tonight. Like I said, I'll be streaming next Wednesday and Saturday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Feel free to subscribe if not a subscriber already, and I'll catch you guys next stream. And yeah, thanks, Tunster. I'm gonna do my best to have a decent day tomorrow. It's the first like full day that we have cooking for people, and unfortunately our first weekend's always one of the busier ones for spring outside of Easter and Mother's Day. But yeah, thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time, hopefully. And as usual, if you like this video, feel free to support me here on YouTube through fan funding or through PayPal in the video description below. Otherwise, I have wattguru.com and also menzgaming.com, which after this weekend, hopefully going to be back to doing articles during the week for them. Again, thanks for watching, guys.